The SRAM GX 10-speed derailleur and Apex One 11-speed shifter aren't officially compatible with each other, and the Apex One shifter isn't officially compatible with a 10-speed cassette. Even so, I've been using these components on my bike, and this is my review after nearly a year and more than 1,000 miles. A year ago, I decided that my surly straggler needed a wider gear range. It came stock with a SRAM Apex One 11-speed group set, which worked pretty well. However, I wanted a wider range, lower gearing, and closer gear steps. I decided I wanted to use a SRAM GX 10-speed derailleur and a 10-speed cassette with the Apex One 11-speed shifter that I already had on my bike. This combination, plus the addition of a triple crankset, would give me the huge range of gear ratios that I wanted. This combination is not officially supported by SRAM, so I had to decide for myself if this combination would work. The most important guide is to see whether each shift moves the jockey wheel the right distance between each cog. Here is a graphic showing how the average shift is very close to the distance between the cogs. On average, each shift moves the jockey wheel on the derailleur by 3.83 millimeters, which is very close to the 3.95 millimeters between the center of each cog. It's perfectly fine that the first number is smaller than the second, since manufacturers typically design their group sets to work this way. In fact, this combination is right in the middle of the typical range. The average shift might be in range, but what if a single cog is badly misaligned? This graphic shows the worst case scenario for misalignment between the jockey wheel and each cog. In the worst case scenario, the misalignment is only 0.09 of a millimeter or 0.2 of a degree. Manufacturers typically keep misalignment to lower than 1.2 degrees, so a small misalignment means that this combination shows a lot of promise. These assessments give us some confidence that an Apex One shifter will work with a GX 10-speed derailleur and a 10-speed cassette. With all these parts on my bike, you can see that it shifts nicely. One of the shifts does nothing because the Apex One shifter has 11 shifts and the cassette has only 10 gears. I have to adjust the low limit screw to block off the last shift and prevent the derailleur from shifting off the biggest cog and into the spokes. Having a blocked off, useless shift after shifting to the biggest cog is actually a feature. I've always been annoyed by a quirk in the Apex One shifter. When you're already in the biggest cog and try to shift, hoping that you've got an even bigger cog, the shifter actually shifts to a smaller cog, making pedaling harder. Having an extra shift means that instead of shifting to a smaller cog when hunting for a bigger cog, the shifter just shifts to the blocked off shift. Sometimes things will work fine in the stand, but not on a real ride. After 1,300 miles with this combination, I can say that I haven't had an issue. Everything still shifts crisply and I haven't seen any other issues. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful if you were considering combining an Apex One 11-speed shifter with a GX 10-speed derailleur and a 10-speed cassette. I've added a link in the description where you can see more information about this combination.